Hello children, welcome back to ICT class. Hope you all are doing good at your home. So let's start today's class session, and this is the video number 48. And before starting today's session, let us look at the slide to understand what we had discussed in our previous class. Three topics that we have discussed in our previous classes: the needs to be satisfied with the operating system and different file systems in the operating systems, and three main partition of GNU Linux, which are root, home and swap. So in today's class we are continuing with 10th chapter operating system, and we are going to discuss another 4 topics in your textbook, which are some Pakka theory portion. One is computer users, general structure of operating system, then free and proprietary systems, softwares, and then last topic is GNU Linux, theory behind GNU Linux operating system. So before starting today's session, let us see the objective behind today's class. To learn about computer users and how to create a user, to recognize about the general structure of operating system, and also to understand about free software and proprietary software. So shall we start today's class? Okay, let's start today's class session with first topic, computer user. User means, I have already mentioned in my previous class, user means we, the human being who are performing with this system. So that is known as user. And normally the mobile phones are built for single user, but in computers are designed for multiple user. Multiple users means more than one user. For example, we can register, or anyone can register as new users in computer. For example, if you are doing with the computers in the school, when you open the Linux software or Linux operating system, when you open the computer for your exam, you can see different user. You have to enter the password in that particular user. Otherwise, you can open another user, Genome, Metacity, like that. Similar way in Windows, we can sign in. There is one admin account, admin user. We can sign into that admin user. And for students, we can create another user called student. So when you look at the screen, when you open this system, when you look at the screen, you can see different users like student, admin, teachers. We can sign into that particular user. So in computer, we can register, any users can register, any number of users can register to the computers as new users. What are the benefits of creating this multiple user? We have stated that home is the main folder in order to save all these files in the hard disk. Home is the main folder. So when we creating new users, each of this user name is stored in the home folder as separate one. For example, if I am using my system, there is one home folder. I can create a user name with my own name. So when you open that home folder, instead of that name home, you can see my name. Okay, so like that, if you want to create your name, you can create a username, and if you open your computer, you can log into that particular user. So in home folder, when there are multiple user, each of this user gets stored in the home folder as new folders. And second benefit is that for each user, each desktop is built by the operating system. It will be different. For me, I can change the wallpaper of my desktop. For another user, for example, for admin, they can change the view or appearance of their desktop. In similar way, each of this user can change the appearance of their desktop. We can sign into different user or account. User means anyone using the computer is known as user. So the appearance of desktop will be different. And third benefit is that we can store each and every files in a particular folder. If I want to use my computer, I can log into my account and I can store the files in different folders in my desktop, and we can set a password for the user name. We can set a password so nobody can use our nobody can sign into our account. So these are the benefit of creating multiple users. Multiple user, registering multiple users means when we open Windows screen, there are multiple user, you can see admin is one account. If you click on sign in, they will ask one password, then only we can view the desktop. Similar way, you can see another user called student. If you click on sign in button, they will ask you to enter the password. Similar way in GNU Linux also, for your exam we are installing one CD and we are using one particular user called exam. Then you have to enter the password. And if you are using computer to perform the practical activities, you are entering to another user. So in the similar way, we can create multiple users in the computer. So these are the benefits. It is given in page number 153. We can set a password for this account. So these are the benefits. And how to create a user? How we can create a user like admin, student, exam, like that? Different users, how we can create. That is described in your textbook as an activity. And see the picture. So this is the picture of creating user. For that, in GNU Linux operating system, go to applications. There you can see so many menus. From that, select system tools, and from system tools select administration, users and groups. So this particular image will appear, this particular window will appear. There you can see one red color mark called add button. So click on that add button and then select create new user. So if you click on that add button, they will ask you to create a password for your name. So create a password. After that, shut down your computer and again log in. When you log in, you can see while entering the password, you can see one arrow mark there. If you click on that arrow mark, every users will list out and select your name and log in as a new user. So new home folder has created in your home folder, and a desktop also will be created for the new user, and you can change the desktop or appearance of the screen. So if you have systems in your home, do this activity, perform this activity and create a username with your name. Okay, it is described in page number 153 and 154. So do this activity and create a username with your name. Okay. So that's our first topic, creating multiple users in a computer. Okay. So second topic is general structure of operating system. It is one important topic. We already have discussed about what you mean by operating system, and I have showed one image of operating system. What was that? Here you can see the hardware, here you can see the operating system, and this one is application softwares. So operating system will act as an intermediate between hardware and application software. And what will be the general structure of operating system? Operating system comprises of two main parts. This particular operating system consists of two main parts. One is kernel. Kernel program. Kernel means it is a program, set of programs to work this operating system. And second one is shell. Shell means the GUI, graphical user interface. Graphical user interface means what? What we are seeing in the monitor. We can see something in our monitor. For example, in Windows we can see this PC. In desktop, in monitor, we can see so many folders. My computer, then every software, application softwares, etc. So that view is known as graphical user interface. So in back end, the operating system will work according to the kernel program, and in the front end means what we are seeing. That is what? Shell, GUI, graphical user interface. So according to this two particular thing, the operating system will work. So let's see the pictorial representation of this general structure. Here you can see the general structure of operating system. So in operating system, kernel means set of program which interacts with the hardware directly or through drivers. So that is what known as kernel, and this will control the hardware. Kernel means operating system program. So this kernel will control CPU, memory and other devices, and will provide a graphical user interface, which means it will control every application softwares, and we can view it as a graphical user interface. It provides a GUI. We can view it in the monitor. It is together known as shell and systems that display software windows. It is very important. Page number 154 you can see. And next picture is the operating system names and the corresponding kernel program. For every operating system, the kernel program is inbuilt. For GNU Linux, the kernel program used is Linux. The name of that program is Linux. And for Microsoft Windows, the program is Windows NT. And the Apple Mac OS, the program is XNU. So these are the corresponding kernel programs of the operating system. So operating system will work according to this kernel program in the backend. It is the program is installed in the computer itself together with the operating system. So based on this program, the operating system will work, and we can see the application software. We can see a graphical user interface. We can view it in the monitor. So this is the working process of operating systems in the computer. So study this picture and study the corresponding kernel program name of the operating systems. So this is what the basic structure, general structure of operating system. Two parts, kernel and shell. Shell and system that displays the interface, which means graphical user interface. So according to this two systems, operating system will work. This is the basic working of operating system. So next is some theory basics. Free software and proprietary software. What do you mean by free software and proprietary software? In the early days, most of the softwares or most of the computer programs as well as the kernel programs are available free to copy and share. We can access this program and we can copy or we can share in the early days. But when the competition among these monopoly practitioners, the growth of this competition had increased, this copy and share had restricted, or they make that programs highly confidential. So what has happened? Nobody can copy and share this computer programs, and this softwares is known as proprietary softwares, where the computer programs had highly restricted and highly confidential programs, and this softwares are known as what? Proprietary software. And Windows and Apple Mac OS is one such proprietary software. Nobody can easily copy and share the programs behind this Windows and Apple Mac OS operating systems. It is considered as proprietary software. The programs and everything are highly confidential. Computer programs are not available to copy and share. Okay, this is known as proprietary software. They have make that operating system or that program highly confidential and restricted, and those softwares are termed as proprietary software. So what had happened is, one person called Richard Matthew Stallman had invented a new operating system with which every person can freely access that software, can modify that operating system, can share that operating system, and such an operating system was built by Richard Matthew Stallman, and it is termed as what? GNU Linux. And this is the story behind GNU Linux, which is built by Richard Matthew Stallman. Okay, and this software is considered as a free software. From the name itself, anybody in the world can access the software, can modify this operating system, can share this operating system, can make changes in this operating system. It is considered as a free software, and it is built by Richard Matthew Stallman. Do you want to know the story behind GNU Linux? The man Richard Matthew Stallman had called every programmers in the world in order to build a new operating system that can be freely accessed or freely modified. He had called each and every programmers in the world, and many of the programmers who are working in different prominent institutions had came forward in order to cooperate with this Richard. And what he had done is, it is not at all possible to call each and every programmers and to explain this project is not at all an easy task. So what he had done is, he had suggested the Unix model, Unix, which was the prominent operating system which using in the early days. So he suggested the model of Unix, and the condition is that not copy the program of or code of this Unix operating system. They can choose the model of the Unix operating system but not to copy the program. So what the programmers done is, they have copied the model of Unix operating system and they had rewritten the program, the code for this new one. That is the origin of GNU, Linux operating system. So now it is considering as a free software. Anybody can access, anybody can change, modify, copy and share this operating system. A solution for this proprietary software had built by Richard Matthew Stallman. So what is the full form of GNU? GNU, not Unix. It is the full form of GNU. Why it is called so? GNU has the model of Unix, but the program, in order to build this operating system, the code or the program is entirely different. That's why the name GNU, not Unix. It is the full form of GNU. This is the name of operating system and the kernel program is Linux. But we are saying that operating system Linux. It is wrong. Linux is its kernel and the name of operating system is GNU Linux 2. And this kernel program was written by the programmer called Linus Torvalds. He has written the program, kernel program called Linux. So study the name of the man, Linus Torvalds. He is the student of Helsinki University in Finland. He had written the kernel program Linux. That's why the operating system got its name GNU bar Linux. Linux is its kernel and GNU is the operating system, and the kernel program is written by Linus Torvalds, and both had built by different persons. So study the name of that person. Operating system built by Richard Matthew Stallman and Linux kernel program was built by Linus Torvalds. So actually the name which intended to give this kernel program was GNU HERD, but they could not complete this program. That's why the man called Linus Torvalds had written the program. That's why the name Linux came. Okay, so this is the origin of GNU, Linux operating system. So that's all for today. Let's summarize today's class topic. In today's class session, we have discussed about 4 main topics. One is creating a user. For that, go to application, system tool administration, users and group, and click on add button in the window and create a new user. They will ask you to create a password for the user. Then create a password. After that, shut down the computer and log in as the new member. And second topic was general structure of operating system. So operating system acts as an intermediate between the hardware and application software. So in operating system there are 2 main parts. One is kernel program, which is inbuilt in the operating system. It will control each and every devices, which means the hardware, and also the application. Second is GUI, which may called as shell or system to be displayed. GUI means what we are seeing in the monitor, that interface, that is known as shell. Last 2 topic was free software and proprietary software. In the early days, we can easily access the computer program to copy and share, but when the growth of this competition increased, they have restricted the copy and sharing of such programs, and this is known as highly confidential and highly restricted softwares are known as proprietary software, for example Windows and Mac OS. And free software, in order to rectify the problem, a free software or free operating system was built by Richard Matthew Stallman, and it is termed as GNU Linux operating system. And I have already mentioned the story behind GNU Linux, and Linux means its kernel program. Linux means the OS kernel program, and it is written by Linus Torvalds, a student of Helsinki University, built in 1991. So these are today's class topic. Here is the homework question for you. Try to find out the answer and write it in your notebook. So these are all theory portions. So you must read your textbook. It is one important chapter. Many questions will ask for your theory exam. So study each and every points in the textbook. These are all Pakka theory basics. No activities are there to do. So some of them are stories. So just read your textbook and study. Okay. So do your homework. That's all for today. We'll continue in the next class. Thank you and have a nice day.